Stand-up comedy versus talk shows. What makes them fun? Another type of show that has stood the test of time is the talk show. A typical talk show features 2 or more people, including a host and at least one guest. This interview-style show became popular soon after the first radio talk show, aired in 1921 in the U.S. At first, the audience could listen to the conversation but couldn't join in. Afterward, live studio audiences were included to increase engagement and energy when talk shows moved to television. Over time, some interaction with the audience was added, though most attention still stayed on the stage. Today, talk shows are no longer just about talking. Having more people on stage allows them to add elements like music, games, and acting. These shows are constantly changing to try and please the audience. Stand-up comedy and talk shows both have special ways of entertaining. Through humorous conversations, they continue to make connections with audiences everywhere.
Today's warm-up quiz is, he used to work at the bookstore, but he blank works there. A, not anymore. B, no more. C, no longer. D, not yet.
You have 15 seconds to think about it. Time's up.
Welcome back, everyone, to English for You. I'm Adam.
And I'm Elsie.
And everyone, in our last episode, we read about stand-up comedy and how fun it is to watch a live show.
Yeah, I remember how the crowd's laughter makes the whole experience so exciting.
Yeah, and even though it's just one comedian on stage, the show feels really interactive.
That's because they ask the audience about daily life, like work and family, and turn those answers into jokes.
Yeah, I mean, it's really amazing how stand-up comedy brings people together.
Yeah, but stand-up isn't the only kind of show people love, right?
That's right, that's very true. And today we're going to learn about talk shows, another kind of entertainment that also keeps people laughing and thinking. Jumping into our topic today, everyone, it says another type of show that has stood the test of time is the talk show. And there we see the phrase stand the test of time, which means to remain valuable, strong, or useful for a long time. An example would be true friendship can stand the test of time.
Stand the test of time, 那就是经得起时间的考验。另外一种经得起时间考验的节目类型就是 talk shows, 脱口秀。
Continuing, it says a typical talk show features 2 or more people, including a host and at least one guest. There we see the word typical. It's the showing the usual or expected characteristics of a person, thing, or group. An example would be a typical summer day in Taiwan is hot and humid.Typical
这个形容词是典型的 A typical day 那就是典型的一天 A typical example 那就是典型的例子那在这边我们还看到今天的文法重点 Let's take a look 今天的 Language in Focus 我们要讲到的是 Including Include 还有 Included 这3个字的不同使用的时机第一个 including 它是一个介系词表示包含或是包括后面接名词作为受词通常用逗号与前句隔开那例句给同学们一个咯 The price of the hotel room is $100 per night including breakfast 这间饭店的房价是每晚$100包含早餐那逗号后面加上 including 带出包含的事项课文里面呢就是用到 including 这个单字典型的脱口秀会有2个或更多人包括了主持人还有至少一位来宾那第二个我们要讲到的是原形动词 include 它表示包含或是包括后面接名词作为受词所以例句一样给同学们一个咯 The team includes 5 players and 1 coach 这支队伍包括了5位选手和1位教练，所以 include 这个动词之后直接接出受词，传达出包括的内容有什么。再来第3个 included 是过去分词拿来当形容词的用法，表示包含在内的或是作为一部分的，用于修饰名词放在名词之后。那例句是 The gift box has many snacks, chocolate and cookies included. 礼盒里有很多点心，包括了巧克力和饼干。
Moving on to our article, it says, this interview-style show became popular soon after the first radio talk show aired in 1921 in the U.S. Wow! So it's been around, the same format talk show has been around for over 100 years now.
Right, 这种访谈形式的节目在1921年美国第一个广播脱口秀播出之后就很快变得流行。So the first one came out in 1921.
Wow, technology has moved quite fast. But some things still stay the same, it looks like, with talk shows. It says, at first the audience could listen to the conversation but couldn't join in. And there we see the phrase join in something, which is to take part in something. An example would be, everyone was gaming, so I joined in.
也就是参加活动的意思。所以起初呢，观众只能听节目当中的对话，是无法参与互动的。What about afterward?
Okay, well, afterwards, it says, afterward, live studio audiences were included to increase engagement and energy when talk shows moved to television. So when television was created, then they brought in more people, and then people would watch it live or taped, and then they would get a more playful and a more, I'd say, a colorful environment. And in that sentence, everyone, we see the word afterward, which is an adverb. It's at a time later or a later time after something else has happened. An example using this, we could say, we went to dinner and afterward we saw a movie. In that sentence, we also see the word studio, which is a noun. It's a room where radio or television program are recorded for broadcast and broadcast from, or where music is recorded. So an example would be, the band recorded their hit song in this famous studio.
好，所以我们首先看到的 afterward 是副词，代表之后或是后来。那如果在字尾加上 s afterwards 也是可以的。Studio 指的是摄影棚或是录音室， Studio audience 那就是现场的观众，棚内的观众。那名词 audience 它指的是观众，那这个时候呢多用单数，但是此处的 audience 变成了复数，原因是有不同场次或是不同节目中的多组观众。好，这个时候你才需要把 audience 做复数型。那另外的 engage 这个动词是参与跟从事，加上字尾 ment 可以组成名词。那这个 engagement 就是参与感，所以随着脱口秀搬到电视台，后来加入了现场录影的观众，借此提升节目的参与感跟活力。
So Elsie, when we're at home watching TV or, flipping through the channels, sometimes I catch you watching some talk shows. Are there some specific talk shows that you really like, whether it's from the United States or from Taiwan? Are there anyone that stick out to you that you like to watch?
Yeah, I used to like a lot of Taiwanese talk shows, and I used to have a lot of time watching them.
Yeah.
But now I don't have, much time to do that.
Right.
So now I watch American talk shows with you.
That's right. We like to watch that talk show, Conan O'Brien, right?
Conan's so funny.
He's very funny. He gets the audience engaged and he gets interactions, which we're going to learn about with the audience. And as it says, over time, some interaction with the audience was added, though most attention still stayed on the stage. And there we see the phrase over time, which means gradually or as time passes. An example would be, over time, I learned to speak Spanish better.
Over time 是随着时间过去，那 interaction 是互动，是交流，动词形式是 interact，形容词是 interactive。 那再来我们说到的 interaction with somebody， 那就是和某人的互动或交流。所以 over time， 随着时间推移，节目呢加入了更多与观众的互动，尽管大部分注意力仍集中在舞台上。
So when people hear the word talk show, they might not be thinking that there's probably a lot going on. It's just maybe people talking, but maybe that's not the case. And our article says that today talk shows are no longer just about talking. Continuing, it says, having more people on stage allows them to add elements like music, games, and acting. There we see everyone the phrase no longer, which just means not anymore. We also saw the noun element, which is a basic part of something. Using the word element, I can make an example sentence by saying, honesty is an important element of our friendship.
No longer 代表的是不再……那这样子的一个句子呢，我们可以把它改写成什么？我们可以说 Today, talk shows are not just about talking anymore. Not anymore 也是不再……的意思。那 warm-up quiz 当中呢，我们用到的句子 He used to work at the bookstore, but he blank works there. A. Not anymore. 如果要用到这个选项的话，我们要说 But he doesn't work there anymore 才是正确的。那 B.No more, 没有更多。C, no longer, 好，就是我们的正确答案。那 D, not yet, 也不适合放在这边。So the correct answer is C, no longer. 那另外 element 这个名词呢是要素，所以如今脱口秀不再只是聊天，因为舞台上的人数增加，节目加入了音乐、游戏和表演等元素。
But talk shows can't stay the same.Our article says these shows are constantly changing to try and please the audience. And there we see the adverb constantly, which means happening all the time or very often. An example would be, my little sister is constantly checking her phone.
Constantly 这个副词是不断的去做某件事情，好，或者是呢经常的，可以修饰一个动作不断的发生。这些节目不断的变化，努力取悦观众。
Continuing with our article, it says stand-up comedy and talk shows both have special ways of entertaining.
单口喜剧和脱口秀都有自己独特的娱乐方式。那 entertain 这个动词是给……娱乐，文中呢是个动名词的用法。那另外 entertainer 这个名词是娱乐表演者，比如说喜剧演员啦，或是歌手，或是魔术师，这些都是 entertainers.
Through humorous conversations, they continue to make connections with audiences everywhere. Now, we see in that sentence, everyone, connection, and that's a noun. It's a feeling that you understand, like, and are interested in someone or something.An example would be using the word connection is, the group had a strong connection because they worked together on the big school project.
Connection 是名词，代表人们或群体之间的关系或是联系。Connection with somebody 那就是与某人的关系或是联系咯，我们会用到介系词 with 来带出。所以课文最后说到，透过幽默的对话，他们持续与世界各地的观众建立连结。
So before our For You chat question, Elsie, we have two things, right? We've been talking about comedy shows and comedians, and we've also been or stand-up comedy, and we've been talking about talk shows.
Mm-hmm.
If I give you 1 hour to watch a talk show or 1 hour to watch a stand-up comedian perform, what would you rather watch?
It's a good question. I think I would want to watch talk shows because I can see a lot of different performers and performances.
Yeah, that's a good answer. I think I'd go with a stand-up show.
不想错过更多精彩的 English for You 内容，就赶快订阅我们的 YouTube channel， 还有追踪 Facebook。
All right, well now everyone, we're going to jump into our For You chat question. It says, what do you think it was like to listen to a talk show on the radio in the past?
Ooh, I guess listening to a talk show on the radio used to be fun and special. Since people couldn't see the speakers, they had to imagine what was happening.
Yeah, I mean, do young kids still today know even what the radio is?
What is the rating? I have no idea.
Right? We have our phones, and you're usually, like you said, you can actually use your phone to actually look at something. For me, I'd say the focus was more on how, maybe speakers sounded and what they said. Maybe whole families would actually, back then, sit around and enjoy it together. Kind of like maybe how we watch TV or as movies today.
Yeah, now everybody just looks at or watched videos on their phone.
Exactly. So we're all separate. We're not as a group. But that's what it is. That's all the time we have for today, everyone. We hope you enjoy learning some information about talk shows and also comedian shows or comedy shows. My name is Adam.
And I'm Elsie.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Vocabulary Review.
Typical. This is a typical dish from this part of Italy. It contains lots of fresh vegetables, such as tomatoes and cabbage. Afterward. Sue finished her homework and afterward, she went outside to play with her friends. Studio. Most musicians prefer to record their albums in music studios for better sound quality. Element. There are pop art elements in this artist's style. It's easy to see she was influenced by the art of the 1960s. Constantly. Matt is constantly working. He won't even take any breaks after he gets started. Connection. When there's a good connection between teachers and students, it's easier to ask questions and get help.
智慧小补帖
Entertain.